This video, we are reacting to Rugby Explained for NFL fans. A lot of you have requested this, so I think it's about time that I react to the video. So be sure to watch the entire video. I do ask some questions that I would like your feedback on, and there were some other things in there that I think you'll enjoy as well. This is a great video. I'll leave the link to the full video that I reacted to down in the description. Shout out to the YouTuber who produced this. This was awesome. Anyways, that's enough talking. Let's get right to the video.
Wild plays at the end of some football games when there's no time left on the clock and the team with the ball needs to score a touchdown. So it's basically a mad scramble with a bunch
this
of
is why I'm
laterals
used to
and
saying
backward
touchdown, man.
tosses, with the hope that by doing this they will eventually be able
And this
to
is
break
not
through the
common in the
defense and
NFL.
score. You're
This
watching
happens
some now,
like
so it shouldn't be too hard to picture.
end of the game.
Now imagine a game
Go blue. Go blue, baby.
where every play
Hail.
is like this. So in our imaginary game,
Love it.
every play is
It's
a
U of
type
M.
of desperate
Greatest
mad
college
scramble.
in
This
America,
game, there are
without a
no
doubt.
forward passes. And in fact, a player on
Right.
offense is not even allowed to fumble the ball forward or knock it forward accidentally. In this game that we're
Oh,
imagining,
shit,
the play
really?
doesn't stop when a player is tackled. The player just gets the ball to
Right,
a
a lot of
teammate
you
and
guys
the
have
scramble
said,
continues. In this game,
this doesn't
in order
stop.
to score
This
a
keeps going.
touchdown, you actually have to touch the ball down on
Yeah,
the ground
right.
in the end zone.
And that's the
finally,
biggest critic you
imagine
guys
no
have.
one in this game is
NFL,
wearing
there's too much
helmets or
stoppage
pads or anything
time,
like that. If you
all
can
that stuff,
visualize
and
what
I
this
agree.
imaginary
It
game
pisses
might
me
be
off
like,
too.
you are well on your way to understanding
Rugby's insane.
rugby. In fact, rugby and American football more or less descend from the same game, which explains their many similarities. We'll get to
Okay.
the history of all of this later in the
Yeah, because the
video.
ball looks similar
Quick
too.
disclaimer.
Before we go any further, I just want to say one thing. The purpose of this video is to explain rugby for an American football fan.
Right, yeah.
As was the case with my Cricket Explained
That's
for
me.
Baseball Fans video, which I highly recommend. This video is intended
do
as
wanna
a
watch
basic
some cricket
starting
too.
point, and it comes
At
from
some
my
point, I
perspective
wanna
as an
watch cricket. I've
American-born
never seen it before.
sports fan. This being said, if you think I've left something out that's critical for a person to know, if they
Also,
want to
guys,
understand
if you want to
rugby,
check this
or if
video
you think
out
there's something
yourself,
to be
I'll
better
leave the link
clarified,
to the
or if you
video
think
in
I've
the
made an
description.
error, feel free
Alright.
to leave a comment.
Because I
The
want
comment sections
everyone
under my
who,
videos have been
you know,
overwhelmingly
wants to
positive
learn
and
more
helpful,
about this,
and I ask that
especially
you
if you're
keep
from
going.
America and you
The
watch
two
my
codes of
videos.
rugby.
Please
Now,
check
if
this
you want
out.
to understand rugby, the first thing to know is that there are
Let's get
actually
it.
two distinct versions or codes of rugby. And these games are different
Two
enough from one another
versions.
that they are usually considered to be two distinct sports. The older and more
What?
widely played
Okay.
version or code of rugby is officially called rugby union. And rugby union will be blue for the purposes of this video.
Okay.
The slightly,
Rugby
but only
union,
slightly
older.
newer code is called rugby league officially.
Okay.
And this is the dominant version of rugby in Australia, especially on the East Coast, in Northern England, and in certain Pacific Island nations,
Okay.
including Papua New Guinea, where it's the
See,
national
and that's
sport. Rugby
that's what I
league
wasn't
will be
explaining
yellow
when you
for
guys
this
would
video.
say rugby
Each of
union,
these
rugby
games
league. Had
generally
no
goes
idea
by
what
the
you were
simple
talking about.
name rugby when it's being played. And sometimes they use the even more generic term football. So it's important to know which version of rugby you're watching. Because
What?
again, they are different enough from one another that they are essentially different.
Well, I got it.
sports. Now, in the United States, the
Okay.
predominant form of rugby is rugby union. And this is the game
Okay.
that most people are referring to when they just say rugby.
Rugby,
and again,
right.
this is also the case internationally for the most part.
Okay.
Rugby league is much less common in the United States. In fact, Wikipedia says that there are only about 700 registered players in the U.S. However, international
Jeez.
rugby league matches are shown
That's
regularly in the
nothing.
U.S. by at least one cable network, Fox Soccer Plus. So for some people in the
Okay,
United States,
shit.
rugby league might be the only.
That's what I was
version
gonna
of
say.
rugby
Like,
that they have
I feel like
available to
rugby
them
is
on television.
not at all
Because of
popular
this,
here.
and because I know this channel has, an
Especially where I'm
international
from, it's
following,
just
and
not
also
very
because, like,
common.
you might go to Australia and want to watch rugby and need to know what's
And
going on.
honestly,
We're
if
gonna
I'm
be
being real
covering
with you
both
guys, if
versions of
someone
rugby
said that
in
they
this
were gonna
video.
play
We will
rugby,
get to what
people
makes
would look
each
at him like,
version of
"What are
rugby
you
unique
talking about?
later in the
Rugby?"
video. Let's
So
begin
it
with a
is
general
not
overview
common
that
nor
applies to both
popular here
games.
in America.
General overview.
Rugby, in general, is a contact sport played without pads or
Right,
helmets,
yeah.
contested between two teams of either 13 or 15 players.
See, now that's the thing right there. Rugby union has 15 players and rugby league has 13. Okay, that's a big difference
version
there.
of rugby.
That's
There
important
are
to know.
7-a-side and 9-a-side versions of rugby. These are shorter and faster paced versions of the game
Okay,
that are often
right.
played at festivals.
Yeah, one of you guys
Rugby is
commented
played
that.
on a field that is 100 meters long and at least 68 meters wide. So that's
Okay.
109 yards long and at least 74 yards wide. The field has markings at various points, and the markings are different depending on the version.
Very
of
similar
rugby
to
being
football.
played. These markings do have some
That is very
significance
similar.
in each game, but on the most basic
Very.
level, the markings on the field are your best clue as to whether you're watching rugby union or rugby league. Regardless of the version of rugby being played, the center line on the field is called
Okay.
the halfway line, and the goal lines are called the try lines.
Right.
At each end of the field is an in-goal area, which is
In goal area. Okay. So many of you got upset. Not necessarily upset, but you guys kept laughing at the fact that I was saying touchdown and that they scored and it's a goal line, right? Because I get it's a try line. And sorry if I keep saying that in further videos, guys. I'm very
what we would
used to
call an end
American
zone.
football.
The
I'm
in-goal
sorry.
areas have a set of
It's going to
uprights
take
that are
me
called
some time.
goals,
All
and
right,
the
bear with
out-of-bounds
me.
area is called touch. So where we would say the ball
Touch.
went out of bounds, they would say it went into touch, or that it's in touch. A rugby match
Okay.
begins similarly to an American football game. There is a coin toss to determine who kicks off, and the team that
Right.
receives the kickoff attempts to move the ball down the field to score, while the team that kicked off tries to stop them. The
With
team
no stoppage
possession
time.
of the oval-shaped
Exactly.
ball is allowed to move it
And that's
by running
crazy.
with it, kicking it, or tossing it laterally or
That's insane.
backwards. Forward passes are not allowed, and an offensive team is not even permitted to play a ball that has been knocked or fumbled
That's
forward,
crazy.
even if the knock or the fumble was unintentional. You are allowed to punt the ball forward.
Yo, real quick though, in a sport where you're getting absolutely railed by other people, right? Not to fumble the ball while getting clobber knocked in the jaw, like that's insane. You have to hold on to the ball through all of the madness. And yet there's so many rules where you can't pass it forward. You're allowed to kick it. Like the sport's insane. No pads, by the way. Like, what are we talking
Punt is
about?
often used to
This is
clear the ball
unreal.
out,
This is
similar
like
to the purpose of the punt
gladiator
in American
football. Like this is
but the punt
real
is
shit right
also
here.
used offensively in rugby, which makes it
Right.
the closest thing to the forward pass in American football. Just like
Yep.
in American football,
Yeah, I saw
defenders
that
are
for the
allowed
first
to make
time, and
contact with
I was
and
so
tackle
lost,
the ball carrier.
but also
Once the ball carrier
bewildered
has been brought
and
to the
impressed.
ground, the tackling defender is required to release the tackle, and the ball carrier is required to give up the
Okay.
ball, which usually involves getting it to a teammate to continue
Okay,
play.
so the guy
rules
tackling
governing
also
exactly what
has to
happens
release the guy.
after a tackle
Okay.
has been made differ depending on which version of rugby is being played, and this is the biggest difference between the two codes of rugby. So we're going to be looking at this topic of what happens after a tackle in its own section later in the video.
Okay, good.
All right,
That's
let's
important.
Talk about scoring. The objective in rugby is
See,
to
guys,
score
as
points,
long as
either
I
by
get
kicking
like the
ball
main
in the
points out of
upright,
this video,
which is called a field
I think
goal,
it's a win.
or by bringing the ball past the
Because I
try
still-
line and
there's still
touching
gonna
it
be
to the
some
ground,
things that I
which is
forget
called a
along the way.
try and is very similar to a touchdown. Just like the touchdown in American football.
Okay, so
a try
rugby
is
league's
worth
4
more than a
points,
field
union's
goal. And after a
5.
team has scored a try, they get a free kick at the goalposts, which is called a conversion. A team
Yeah.
can also score points
Those
from
are
penalty
insane.
kicks, which are uncontested kicks at the uprights that happen after penalties, similar to foul shots in basketball. The number of points earned by all of these things differs depending on which version of
Okay, I'm just pausing it here real quick. Mental screenshot. Penalty, rugby union's 3, rugby league is 2. Conversion equal. Try 5 and 4. And then field goal / drop goal is 3 for union, 1 for league. Okay. I'm probably
rugby
going to
watch.
forget that,
After
but
points are scored, the team that got scored on
hoping I
kicks
don't.
off to the team who just scored. So yeah, they go hard. A rugby player is only allowed to make the team
What?
who- After points are scored, the team that got scored on kicks off to the team who just scored. So yeah, they go hard.
So let me get this straight. A team scores. You were on defense. You were getting your ass throttled for probably 10 straight minutes just defending your heart out. They score, right? You're like, okay, me, Jimmy, and Joe can finally get the ball and go on a counterattack and maybe score some points for our team because, hey, you know, we're halfway through the first half. We're tired as hell. Nope. Sorry, Jim, Johnny, and Joe. Guess what? You got to kick back to them and play defense again. That's
a rugby
insane.
player is only allowed
Holy.
to make a play on the ball or influence the game if
Unreal.
they are onside.
Okay.
During play, being
Let's see this.
onside generally means being behind the ball from your perspective.
Okay,
Being
that makes
offside
sense.
itself is not
Yep.
a penalty, but it becomes a penalty when an offside player attempts to make a play on the
So
ball.
similar
or
to
interferes with
like
the game.
soccer.
There are some more specific rules governing offside, including for some set pieces, and those are outside of the scope of this video. Let's talk about that ball real quick.
Okay.
The rugby ball is
See, those are the things that you guys have to teach me along the
but
way.
It is a bit wider and has rounded ends. This makes it a lot less aerodynamic. Of course,
Right.
that doesn't matter because you're not
Oh,
throwing the ball
interesting.
forward in rugby. In rugby, the
interesting.
play rarely stops except for a few specific reasons. These include, number one, if scoring has happened. Number
Yep.
two, if the ball is moved forward by an offensive player
Yep, can't
by any
happen.
means except for carrying it or kicking it. Number three, if the ball goes into touch. Number four, if there's a penalty.
Into
And number
touch.
five, if there's an injury. Otherwise, play
Not
pretty
out of
much
bounds.
keeps going.
Into
so in this
touch.
sense, it's a much more kinetic
Which is
game than
crazy.
American football. When play restarts after being stopped, it is generally restarted via something called a set piece. If you play soccer,
Okay.
you're familiar with set pieces. The main set
I did.
pieces in rugby union are the lineout, which looks like this. It is how play is restarted when the ball goes into touch, and the scrum, which looks like this. It is how play.
Okay, so the image where I'd be like, yo, that looks fun, right? When Cheslin was being lifted into the air by like a 6'5" behemoth of a human, I was like, oh, that's the perk of being small because you get lifted into the air. That looks super fun. Okay, now it makes sense why that happens. And then of course the
Play is
scrum that
restarted after
all of
certain
you,
minor infractions,
all
or
of
when
you
the
will
ball
never
becomes
forget to let me know
unplayable
what a
but
scrum
stays in
is.
bounds. The scrum is intensely
Trust me,
physical in
I will
rugby
never
union,
forget
and there are
what a scrum
strict
is.
and specific rules governing the scrum. In rugby league, the scrum is the only set piece, so it's how play is restarted
Oh.
anytime it needs to be restarted. But unlike the scrum
Okay.
in rugby union, the rugby league scrum is more of a formation than a physical contest. And the team that is awarded a scrum almost always gets possession of the ball. Compare these
Oh.
rugby league scrums to this rugby union scrum.
Yeah,
This
now
is another
that shit's insane. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I feel like this needs to happen more often in America. Like, we need to publicize and market like rugby tournaments, rugby competition, and like just put this image right here on the poster, on the billboard. I'm pretty sure people would get so distracted by it. Like, genuinely, what is this? Because when I saw it for the first time, it was very, very bad thought. Very bad. I'll leave it there, but it's like, what am I looking at? You know what I'm saying?
as to which version of rugby
You know what
you're
I'm saying?
watching. On screen right now are
Like,
some basic
all of
rugby
you
terms
probably have
and
seen
their
that a million
American
times,
football
but
equivalents. This is for you to use as a reference. Take
Here
a
we go.
screenshot if you want.
screenshot, mental note, guys. Try is a touchdown. Awesome. You won't be hearing me say touchdown ever again. All right. Conversion, extra point. That makes sense. Field goal, drop goal, field goal. Okay, I can use field goal slightly. Touch, out of bounds. That one might be tough. That one might be tough. I'll have to remember that one. Not gonna lie. In goal area, end zone. It's just better to say end zone in my opinion. I mean, it really is. But in goal area, okay. Try line, yes. Halfway line, 50-yard line. Okay.
Beyond all this, the
Halfway
details
line.
of the game that you watch will depend on the version of rugby that you're watching. But
Right.
before we get to all that, I want to do a quick history lesson so you can get a
Oh,
sense
geez.
of why rugby and American
Now this is
football
important
are
though.
similar as
The
they
history
are.
behind it all
A
is
bit of
actually
history.
important.
The easiest way to start the history portion of this video is by acknowledging that most forms of football played around the world trace their roots back to the football games played in medieval Europe,
Right.
and medieval England in particular.
Yeah,
These
rugby's a
games
little bit
belong
of
to a
kinda
wider
like soccer
category
and
of
football
game that has been
mixed.
played around the world
You can
throughout
kick it.
history, in which two groups
Just
of people,
crazy.
and it's usually a large number of people, compete with one another to kick, carry, and or toss a ball.
they playing in
or
a-
other
in a
object into
fucking
some sort of goal
rink?
or across some
was
sort of
circular.
line or into some sort of goal area, almost always through
Nah. Real quick though,
goal or across some sort of line.
I
or
couldn't
into some sort of-
imagine. I don't know when this is. I mean, it's just like 1500s, like so many years ago. That looks like it's probably dirt, but that looks like hard rock. Like playing rugby on hard rock,
goal
probably back
area,
then.
almost always
Everyone
through
thought you were
bounds. This
just
type of game was already known by the name football
Crazy.
in England by the 1300s, and the name football appears to have been in wide use by the 1500s. Today, these medieval
1300s.
games are often called
Holy
mob
shit.
football to evoke the chaos and anarchy that define them. And football
Oh,
is often banned
that
by
looks
kings
brutal.
and
Ball
within various
carriers getting
jurisdictions due to the
absolutely
destruction
trampled.
and injury that it brought. By the 1800s, this type of
obviously.
game was being played in a more
Injury,
organized
yeah.
way at schools and sporting clubs throughout the English-speaking world, including the United States and Canada. Up until the mid-1800s, each school or club played by its own rules, and these rules could
1833?
differ greatly. So when schools played against one another,
No,
they had
that's
to
insane.
agree on the rules of each individual match. Eventually,
What?
standard forms of football developed.
Oh,
and the
okay,
first
yeah.
one to catch on widely was a version
But they had
played at
to
the rugby
agree to
school
certain
in
rules
England.
before the
This is
match.
the game that the modern forms of rugby descend from.
That sounds
and
like it
was
could
the
be
version
very
of football
brutal.
that directly inspired
Not
what
gonna
we
lie.
now call football in America. McGill University in Montreal
That
was
makes
the
sense.
first North American school to base their rules on rugby rules, which had been brought to Canada by British soldiers.
Canada.
Harvard University's football team
1870s.
then learned this version of football during a series of matches between the two schools in 1874.
Yeah.
Rugby
By
style
the
football
way,
soon
fun fact for most of you that might not know this about America college schools, Harvard, I think, is one of, if not the oldest football program schools ever, like in history. They are one of the oldest schools to introduce the sport, amongst other things as well. I'm pretty sure it's Harvard. If they're not the top, they're one of.
spread to other universities, including
Very,
Princeton, Yale,
very
Tufts,
pristine
Columbia,
college.
and the University of Michigan, and quickly
Very
became
pristine
the most
history as
popular
well.
form of football in the United
Princeton
States.
too.
In fact, for the first few decades of American football, the terms rugby and football seem to have been used interchangeably. And when we
really?
look at the rule books from the time, we see that early American football resembled rugby much more closely. than
Yeah,
what we
that
would
makes
identify
sense.
As American
Because I feel
football
like back
today.
then
And
too,
even though
in American
has
football,
evolved
they didn't
into
have
its own
pads very
distinct
much.
Sport, there are still some vestiges
maybe
of its roots.
leather
as
on top
what
of
you
the
could call
skull?
variation
That
on
didn't do
rugby
anything.
football. For example, we still call this a touchdown, even though we are long past the point where a player has to actually touch the ball down on the ground to score. As
That's
they
the
do in
difference
rugby.
right there.
All right, I hope knowing that bit of history helps put everything into context.
No, that
Let's
was
go
great.
on now
I
and
think
talk
that
about
was
the most
valuable.
significant difference between
I think
the
that
two
was
codes of
valuable.
rugby.
If there's
The biggest
guys, if there's
difference
more
between
history
rugby
stuff
union
that I
and
should
As you
know,
could tell
please
from the
leave
general
that stuff
overview,
in the
the
comments.
two
I want to
codes of
know
rugby
everything.
Share a lot in
I
common,
really do.
and the majority of their differences are easily explained. And this makes sense because up until 1895, there was only one code of rugby. The split happened because a group of teams in northern England felt that they were being overlooked by the London-based Rugby Football Union, and also because they
All it
wanted
takes
to
is
get
one.
paid. It seems
There it
unthinkable
is.
today, but the idea of a full-time professional
Hey, but it
athlete
makes
is
sense.
actually a relatively new thing.
Guys,
And this topic is interesting.
It really
enough that
does.
probably
If you're putting your
deserves its own
body and
video.
life on
So
the
let me
line,
know in the comments if you would be
I mean, not
interested
to
in that video.
that extent
Anyway,
of
so
your
in
life being on the line,
1895,
but
that group
you're
of
putting your
teams in
body on the
Northern England
line,
created
breaking
their
bones and
own
shit.
governing
You might as well get
organization,
some money
which
out of it,
became
right?
known as the Rugby Football League, and the two codes
Okay.
of rugby began evolving independently of one another.
Should I read this? Probably. Rugby league. Okay. Okay, in Australia, wanting to get paid. Okay. Gotcha. Working class version of the game, even though both codes of rugby are now fully professional. Okay. Rugby league's got a little bit more grit to
Today,
it,
the two
right?
codes are different enough from one another that they are generally considered to be two
I like
distinct
that.
sports. We covered most of the differences
like
between
that.
rugby union and rugby league already.
it's
but
crazy,
there's
too,
one
because
difference that to me is
in
significant
all the
enough
videos
that
I've
I think
watched,
it deserves its own
I didn't
section
even
of
know
this
the lines
video,
were different
and
on
that
the
is
field.
what
I'm gonna be
happens
honest.
after a ball carrier has been
Ooh.
tackled. This fundamental
got popped
question
in
has a
the mouth.
dramatic effect on the strategy, gameplay, and overall flow of the action in rugby. And ultimately,
Yo, we
this
gotta
question
watch women's
defines the
rugby. I'm not
distinct
gonna lie.
personalities
This looks
of
lit.
each game. You'll remember from the general overview
Like,
that a
I can
tackled
think
player
of, like,
in
a
rugby is required to give
ginormous
up the
woman
ball, and the tackling
would just
defender is
trample.
required to release the tackle.
That'd be
this
sick.
applies to both rugby codes. What happens next is unique to each game. Let's get
Okay.
into it, and we'll start with rugby.
So they have to release
league,
him from the
because
tackle.
Rugby league
Rugby
operates
league.
much more like American football after a tackle. In rugby league, which again is the
Okay.
one that's more popular in Australia and has the field similar to American football,
Right.
each team can only maintain
Australia,
possession
okay.
of the ball for 6 tackles. So this is similar to the 4 downs in American football, but you can think of it as 5
Okay.
downs because they consider the tackle after a punt or a kickoff to be the 0 tackle. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, in rugby league, after the
Interesting.
ball carrier has
Yeah.
been tackled, the defense is required to clear out at least 10 meters and
10
allow the offense
meters?
to play the ball uncontested. This is officially called the play the ball. So you can think of rugby league as having a 10-meter neutral zone after each tackle. The exception
Yo,
to
10
this are
meters is
two
a good
defenders
amount of
called the
space.
markers, who are allowed to be near the ball, but they're not allowed to interfere. So I guess they're there to keep the offense
Okay.
honest. I don't know. Any defensive player besides the markers who has not retreated 10 meters is considered offside. So they have to get
Oh.
onside before they're
But,
allowed
like,
to affect.
guys, how would they know? Maybe he's gonna explain it. I shouldn't have paused it this soon, but like, how would you know it's 10 meters? Are they just fucking Are they just eyeballing it?
the game in any way. In rugby league, there are
Or
no
it's like the
first
ref
downs,
standing at
so
10
a
meters,
rugby
so they
league
look at the
offense has
ref.
to
That could
score
be it as
before
well.
its sixth tackle, or else it gives up possession. This means that if a team is on its
Or maybe it's the
sixth
line on the
tackle
field.
and is not close to scoring, the team will usually just punt the ball away, like in American football. The difference, of course, is that the punt is a live ball in any form of rugby. So if a member of the offense catches it, they can try to score or at least push the ball
makes
as
so
far as
much
possible on their
sense.
final tackle, as opposed to American football where a team fully gives up possession by punting. If a team does not score and gets tackled a sixth time, they become the defense and have to clear out 10 meters
so
that
that explains a lot.
Real quick, because I know it will come up in the comments, I will say that there are a few ways that a team can get a fresh set of 6 tackles, and those are outside the scope of this video.
All right, that's fair.
All right, now we're going to talk about what happens after a tackle in rugby union.
Which is crazy.
Union, the ball is
6
always
tackles?
live, and it's always able to be contested. So in rugby union, there's no concept of uncontested
rugby
possession
union
or
is
downs,
so cool.
and there's no limit to the number of times an offense can be tackled.
You got to be so
while
cool
they
to
have
play
possession
this.
of the ball. If
Genuinely.
the ball carrier is tackled in rugby union and the defender is able to get to the ball before the offense, it's a turnover, which is pretty good on the defender. Because of this possibility, there's almost always a teammate of the ball carrier ready to receive the ball after a tackle. And the defense often
they all just
this handover. But it's also
surround
common
him.
for the defense
It's
and the offense to both engage over the ball after a tackle, which creates a situation called a ruck. The ruck is a vocabulary term and is an official thing in rugby. Once the referee...
So many of you wanted me to know what a ruck was. Trust me, it won't be forgotten. Thank you to everyone who told me what a ruck was.
Referee announces a ruck has formed. There are strict rules governing what is allowed to happen.
Just like a scrum.
Things from becoming
just like the try line.
For example, players are required to remain on their feet during a ruck, and players can only join the ruck from the back, from their perspective. The most significant rule, maybe, is that players are not allowed to place their hands inside the ruck, which means that players need to use their feet to bring the ball to the back of the ruck, and or players need to physically...
Yes. This shit looked crazy the first time I saw it. Because I was so confused. I was like, why are they doing that? This makes so much sense. And a lot of you have told me in the comments what it meant too. So thank you for that as well. But this makes sense.
The bodies of the opposing team.
Because you want to create some space.
The back of the ruck or from outside of the ruck can pick up the ball. Rucks are often resolved quickly, but sometimes they get extended, for lack of a better term. That's all we're going to say about the ruck in this video. There is a link in the description if you want more information. So that's the biggest
honestly very important stuff.
League and rugby
really
union,
is,
at least to my eye. And it's what gives each of these sports their own personality. Because the offense is guaranteed the ball after most tackles, the action in rugby league is more predictable and compartmentalized.
Right, it's much more controlled, slowed down a little bit.
From the perspective of an American football fan. Rugby union is more kinetic and is more of a perpetual scramble.
Yeah, just nonstop.
Always live, even after attack.
Which is crazy. I mean, you have to be in such good condition to play rugby union.
Got the basics of rugby in your mind, I recommend following this video up by watching a couple matches.
Hey, also on top of what he said, that is my plan. I do want to watch a few matches in the future. So if you guys have recommendations on what matches I should watch, please leave them down below. I really want to know what your interests are. A lot of you said the rivalry between the Springboks and the All Blacks in the World Cup. Also, Springboks versus France also came up a good amount. So I see your guys' comments. Thank you all for commenting as well. I try to get to as many as I can, but I do see them, so keep dropping them below. Also, real quick before we continue, are the numbers in rugby league, right? Because I think there's less players, right? There's 13, because Union has 15. One of the two, right? If there's less, does that mean the numbers are different, like position-wise? Let me know that in the comments if you've made it this far in the video as well.
If you'd like to start out with a rugby league match, which might be the better place to start just because it's more similar to American football, I highly recommend the 2015 grand final between the Brisbane Broncos and the North Queensland Cowboys of Australia's National Rugby
recommending
League, which
what
is
I should watch. This is awesome.
Rugby Super Bowl. It's available for free on YouTube. If you'd like to follow up with a rugby union match, since that's the more common version worldwide, and it's generally what people mean by the term rugby outside of the places where rugby league is.
And that's what I thought rugby was, to be honest.
Point you towards a recent match, the 2022 Women's Rugby World Cup final between England and New Zealand. Both of the matches that I'm
This could be our first women's reaction video as well.
And very fun to watch.
That sounds lit.
So they are fun regardless of how much rugby knowledge you are bringing into it. I promise you that by the end of it, you'll have a much better sense of this game.
No,
If
this
you
is
have
perfect,
further
man.
questions, feel free to leave comments. If this is anything like my cricket...
Hey, real quick, shout out to this guy. Awesome video. Much appreciated, my friend. This is paramount in order to learn more about rugby. I tried my best learning from each and every one of you commenting on my videos. I learned a lot from you guys, I really did, but this kind of helps me learn a little bit more about the history, especially about rugby league and rugby union, because I wasn't fully understanding that. A lot of you guys talked about it. It wasn't really connecting in my pea brain up here, but now I've got a firm understanding of it. So especially with the lingo, the terms, right? That kind of stuff, very important. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys are happy that I watched this finally and can understand more rugby and terms about it, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what video I should react to next. And thank you all so much for sticking around. I really, really appreciate it. See you all in the next video.